Today is the 7th of March and spring is almost here. Apparently, according to the weather forecasters, once you get into March, it's the official start of spring. But I always think that spring doesn't really start till the 21st of March when we have the equinox. So here in the open we have these beautiful little larch cones beginning to appear, and that's always a welcome sight. Let me take you for a brief walk through the nursery. Many of our maples are still without their leaves, but there is still a lot to see. So I will just take you through and show you all these beautiful, beautiful Chinese junipers that we've just put out on display. They were in the greenhouse, but I decided to bring them out to show them off for the weekend. So we have about 50 of these high quality junipers. They are high quality, so if you want to buy something for a few pounds, that's another department that we have. But these are all high quality trees and they are not for the faint-hearted. You've got to be a serious person to be into these sort of trees. And there is more, because we just repotted about 20 trees over the last 3 days and they are really looking splendid. So this is some of the work that Kevin has done. This is the carving that he does and the styling that he does as well. So we have a lot of lovely trees at Herons, and then there's another bench with junipers. So there are junipers everywhere. That one is over 1 meter tall. Different styles. These are all Itoigawa junipers, by the way. Excuse the planes, the wind is blowing from the east, so the planes are taking off from Gatwick. Look at all that beautiful, beautiful carving that Kevin has done for us. I'm now just going to show you some of our spring flowering trees, because they're all coming into leaf. The crab apples also have come into leaf and the flowers will be opening in a couple of weeks' time. The winter flowering cherries have already started to bloom. And these maples were out in the open and yet they've come into leaf. This is Katsura. So trident maples, these were all out in the open, so they've not been protected. So they've been emerging in the cold. So spring is certainly around the corner. These are our old pines. Look at the bark on that. This is the Itoigawa that we created from our own air layering. So they were air laid only in the middle of summer and they rooted, and we've already wired them and put them in pots. More junipers. This is a very, very old root over rock Itoigawa. We certainly have a lot of junipers on the nursery. I like to show you this tree because if you go back about 3-4 years, I had a sloe which I split with a Chinese cleaver, and I split the tree in two. So one part has already gone to someone. He purchased the other half, and this is the other half that remains, and I must put it into a smaller pot because it's looking delightful. Already half the flowers have dropped off and I didn't get a chance to photograph it. So this was the famous tree. That's where the chop was made, a tree that I split into two, and this is what it looks like. I won't walk through the entire nursery because it's too big a place to cover, but just to show you how these trees are emerging and coming into leaf from being completely in the open. They were not protected at all. So just shows we've had a relatively mild winter so far. So the winter has not been hard, and it won't be long. I think in another 2 or 3 weeks time they will be starting to come into leaf. We can't repot all the trees each year, but we certainly do about 25% of all the trees. There are too many trees to repot. Look at that. There are hundreds and hundreds of trees in all stages of development. And all these trees are made at Herons. None are imported. They're all our own domestic production, which we are very proud of. We do bring in one or two, like these rare stellata magnolias. They are from Japan with these massive trunks. Sorry about the planes. This is a Japanese hawthorn. I haven't pruned the long shoots because I will wait a little bit before I prune. Let me just walk into the greenhouse to show you the trees that we repotted over the last 3 days, and they're also looking splendid. And our staff are continuing to repot some of the trees. So let's have a look. It's just the right time. These forsythia are beginning to bloom. We are in the middle of repotting this massive, great big stump of a forsythia. This we got out of our hedge. So it's not that old.
No.
I would say it's only about 30 years old. And it's been in the pot for the last 3 years. And we cut the top of the tree off and we've just let it rot naturally. So you can see what we've managed to get out. It's just rotted wood, natural rotting. So we haven't had to carve or anything. So this is all very natural looking stuff. So it will be even more interesting than if you had carved it with carving tools. So we discover something new all the time. So the front is somewhere here.
Yeah,
this is good. Wow, but it's in a round pot anyway.
Yeah.
Round pot.
She's pretty from every angle, this one.
So we've prepared the pot. You see what we've done? We've put a layer of Hyuga at the bottom and our standard deciduous mix, which has more organic, but it has Akadama, Hyuga, Japanese volcanic grit. So it's got 5 magic ingredients. So looking at the tree from this side, it looks nice from this side as well. Amazing what you can do with tree stumps. Okay, so let's look at some of the trees that we repotted in the last 3 days. These, by the way, are the Satsuki azaleas that we keep in here during the winter. Now this maple was repotted about a month ago, and it's been in the greenhouse, so it's emerging into leaf. Just walk you mighty Chinese elm, and that's coming into leaf as well. How exciting is that? So these are customers' trees waiting to be repotted. All massive, massive trees. That's a splendid Itoigawa. It's over 1 meter tall. And these are Itoigawas that we are air layering. They were started in October of last year. They did produce roots, but not enough roots, so we did not remove them. More Itoigawas here. These are the ones that I showed on another video. This repotting I did back in, I think it was January. And look at our Deishojos. These have been leafing out in the greenhouse, so I'm not going to take them out because they may get hit by the frost. Let me spin around and show you all these other interesting trees. That's a Hinoki cypress with a dead tree in the middle. I'm going to carve this. And this was a tree I brought back from Wisley, Scots pine. Look how green it is. This we repotted into a new pot. And there's some ancient trees as well. So watch this space. There's a lot to see when we display these out in the summer. Many trees are starting to leaf. And let me show you some more maples that we repotted a month ago. And they're looking nice as well. So let me just show you this. This one is also beginning to leaf. They've all been protected, so they are leafing a bit earlier than trees that would be left in the open. We talk about Nebari, you can see Nebari everywhere. Good examples of Nebari. And these are the Chojubai from Japan with delightful small leaves. And we've potted them into these beautiful new pots that came from China, crackle glaze pots. So this should give you a taster of what we have on the nursery. We're always doing work, and hopefully we will keep showing you more and more videos that should be of interest to you. There's another mighty pine that needs wiring. This was repotted. Wasn't done for about 10 years, so that was in great need of repotting. So there you go.